to go that way.
Okay. What's the biggest rock group in the world? Well, we already know that, of course. It's the Monkees, because they were put on Mount Monkeemore years ago. I don't know if you've been there lately, but that's what's there. And this movie, or short, is about monkey anomalies, rarities, really weird stuff that I found through 40 years of collecting monkeys. And we'll start off with, here is the first album, The Monkees, Meet the Monkees, and it's 1966. One of the songs is Papa Jean's Blues, written by Mike Nesmith, and it had a J on it, which was wrong. It was on the front and back cover. Well, on a reissue, they fixed it to a G, Papa Jean's Blues. So that was corrected, which I'm sure Nesmith was really happy about. But the funny thing was, in England, they had Papa Jean's Blues on the front, which they fixed, and they never fixed it on the back. I don't know who got in trouble, whatever for that. Monkees Headquarters, one of the cooler albums put out in 1967. Well, this, the bottom middle picture, which has a couple of the producers like Chip and Rick, has a picture there. But when they reissued it, they put all the Monkees in there, and they're all bearded. There's not as many around. They're not any more valuable. It's kind of amusing to put the beards on them, because while they were doing the sessions and playing, they didn't really care if they were bearded or not, because they were going out for appearances, because they were spending time doing the... My next one is this Gigi Award from 1967. 16, which is the big rock magazine back then, would do a whole bunch of different Monkees exclusive. Well, they gave the Monkees this Best Television Award for 1967, which I guess meant nothing, but I don't know who got this, but I found it someplace. And here's a Gigi Award gossip column. And there's a picture of Mike and Peter with their beards. So, during this time is when they were doing the headquarters session. This is when they took the pictures. Which is kind of... They also made a couple other amusing magazines, which is kind of... Here's 16 again with Monkees. Ha ha ha. The Monkees with real monkeys. And one of the more amusing is this Out of Sight magazine. And what they did was, if you can see, they took all the Monkees features and made it into one. Like, oh, that's the fifth monkey. And you know who he kind of looks like? He kind of looks like Bobby Sherman. A little bit anyway, it's not completely. I also have these monkey shoes put out in 1967 probably, but they were put out in England, so we never saw monkey shoes. But these are licensed monkey shoes. So if you're size 9, come on over and I'll let you wear them. And Kellogg's used the Monkees for their promotions on different boxes, cereal boxes. Now, about 1987, the Monkees were still on tour. We had Monkees conventions. I started Monkey conventions in 1986, 87 or 88. And Davy showed up. Well, I brought my cereal box from 1967. And Davy was big on the back. And he'd signed it on the back. Not him himself, but as a facsimile signature. Well, as you can see in this picture, I got Davy to sign again, just to compare the signatures, just to make sure he was the, authentic Davy. I didn't want a fake one coming along. Topps Gum Company has auctions every once in a while. They're getting rid of their archives. And this came out of the archives. It's the Monkees Flip Your Lid, which is actually the Monkees flip books. And they didn't have Monkees cards, so they used the Beatles cards to do it as an insert so they could show this concept. This is concept art for the Monkees flip books. Look here. Here's Action. From Monkees flip books. Oh, that was I could do that for hours. Put out 16 of them. Year 91. Susan and I were traveling across the country. Going to toy shows and buying and selling. And we stopped at our friend's John Anderson. And we were there. John had this list of like original comic book art. A list like, John, what's this? He says, well, my friends, they got this big load in. I said, what? I said, I really want to see all this stuff. And he goes, sure, we can set it up and we can go look at it. I said, all right. Well, in that stuff was 2 books. I'm talking about 32 pages each, 64 pages of monkey art. It was all drawn by Jose Delbo. And I ended up buying both those books and a couple thousand other books like Beanie and Cecil, Clyde Crash Cup, a whole bunch of really cool, weird stuff. Through the years, I sold number 5, but I kept all 32 pages of number 6. So this is like a whole book, which you rarely get in original art. Here's the second story. Here's the third story. Well, amusingly, about 8 years ago, I was talking to John again, and I told him, well, Jose's going to be at Comic-Con. He says, oh. He's like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you have him draw the photo cover? I said, God, John, that's genius. Genius, John. And I went there and I commissioned Jose to do just that. Made a cartoon cover of the original, as if he would have done a cartoon cover at that time. So thank you, John. Here's an amusing thing too. In one of the pieces, right here, Peter says, "Oh, I'm not very good at spelling." He does it with one L. Well, in the notes on the side, it says, "Leave that error. That's on purpose. Don't make it a double L." In 68 and 67, different companies would put out lyrics of not just the Monkees, but Beatles and everything else. They would sell the books. Well, India put out this 1001 popular song hits of 1968. And because the Monkees were so popular, they used them on the cover. Well, except one monkey doesn't quite look exactly like our regular monkey, and that's Davy. They redid Davy's face close to what he was, but they made him look like he was Indian. And that was to sell more copies. Like the little girl's like, "Oh, look at little Davy, he looks really like us. Oh, let's get him. Oh." I thought that was very ingenious marketing. Well, I was, bored, like we all get, during the pandemic a little bit. And I thought, are there any hidden meanings in any of the Monkee songs? And do you know how many Monkee songs there are? Well, now you know, because I'm going to tell you. It's like a little over 250. So I decided, okay, since I have all this, I'm so busy, I'm going to listen to each one of these backwards. And that's what I did. I listened to every Monkee song backwards. And out of the 250, there was only one song that was intelligible that I could tell what it was. And it's on the back of this record. That's right. I'm not your stepping stone. And as you can probably hear, you can pick out the word. To me, instantly when I first heard it, I was like, "I'm not your Mexican. I'm not your Mexican." Next topic is more music. I used to listen to quad music. It was discrete. Each channel had a different music in it. like Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. When the coins go ding, 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 they would go ding, 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 ding. They go around in a circle, which is so cool. And like the Doors, Jim Morrison would do, Riders of the Storm. The front channels had him singing like here in stereo, but the back channels was him whispering, Riders in the Storm. Well, Rhino put out, in like about 86 or 87, they put out these alternate and extra tracks from each LP. And they would have instrumentals, different people singing. Like there was a song called Zilch, and that each monkey came in and sang a little, I think like Mr. Bob Balina, Mr. Bob Balina, and it would go Zilch, Zilch. Each one would go Zilch. Well, Zilch. Rhino released each channel, so I took that and encoded it into Zilch. 4 Zilch. Channels, so it was quadraphonic. So each monkey was in each channel talking. Like, I thought that was so fun. So then I went and did a whole bunch of other songs from those alternates and different takes. And I said, okay, I'm going to make 2 CDs, and what should they be called? Well, there was Monkees, More of the Monkees, Headquarters, Pisces Aquarius, and Head. So I thought, okay, Headquarters, Head, the 6th one must be Quarters. So I took the Monkees and put them onto quarters and made them quadraphonic, which was really fun and great different sounds I was able to make. So I put each monkey on an image, and they had, you know, their birth dates on each one. But that was 2003. In 1984, I'd met Eric Lefkowitz, and he did the book, The Monkey's Tale, which is a great, that's so cool. That's a great title. I ended up in San Francisco, and I had monkey, they were little trading cards and albums, and he said, are you into the monkey? I said, yeah. So I said, I've got all the monkey albums. I could, you know, get pictures, and you could put them in your book. And so that happened. I put it in the book. So we stayed friends for years and years. Well, we went to Monkees conventions together too. And the book was the best book that was made for The Monkey's Tale. I kept bugging him to update it. Okay, oh, Eric, we update? It's like, you know, there's so much information. 1986, you know, when the Monkees came back, they didn't really come back, they were always there. They just had a big upsurge of people, you know, wanting him, collecting and listening to him from MTV. And I asked him, you know, for like, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And finally, he said, okay, I'll start working on it. And I said, well, I'll do the cover. And I said, and you can use my coins for the image of the covers. And Eric came up with this great idea, or great name for the book. And it was called Monkey Business. I mean, was that genius? I mean, Monkey Business, that's so funny. And then the coins fit just really perfectly in. Well, Stephanie Thompson, I made a cover, and Eric thought, like, oh, well, you know, it's like, that's a little bit too busy. It was this one here with Darwin's tree, and had the monkeys on the top, and at the base of the tree was money. It was the root of all evils. He said, it's a little bit too busy. I said, oh, okay, I guess you're right. Well, it didn't matter if I was right or not, because he's the one that picked the book for the cover. And so he used the coins, and she laid them out, and Davy's date was cut off. I didn't know why that happened, but there was a release earlier of the whole cover, you know, advertising the book, and somebody called up and said, hey, you got Davy's date wrong. You know, what? He says, yeah, Davy's date was wrong. Like, all those years, I was 8 years, I'd screwed up and I put the wrong date on Davy's coin. Well, because they cut it this way, it didn't show up. And that's just how, you know, Stephanie had laid it out. Well, a little bit during that time, I thought, wait a second, these kinds of, can I make coins? Yes, I can. So I made coins. I made shiny ones and antique silver ones. I put Mike and Mickey on one side, M&M, and I put Davy and Peter on the other side. And I took that original cover that I made with Darwin's, and I made it die cut, and I inserted coins in it. Like, oh, this is really great. So I shrunk wrap it, and I sold it this way. Eric, he just kept selling the book the same way, but I put the coins with it. The funny thing in this whole situation is Stephanie, through random arrangement, put Davy at the bottom. We lost Davy. She put Peter. We lost Peter. I had made a Davy and Peter coin. Okay, so that's gone, and we have a Mickey and Mike left. And right at this point, we don't know anything about it. It got a little chilly here, so I came out to finish the video, and I forgot to tell you how this ended up. No, I did it on purpose.